I have a series of questions that have come in from all of our listeners over the last couple of days. And I wanted to go through those and answer some of those questions from a cleaner's perspective, not from the Airbnb host's perspective. All right. So I'm going to throw these questions up here and then we will just answer these one by one and we'll do our best here. All right. Are there any particular tools or software that you recommend for hosts to streamline the management of the rental properties? This is a really great question because there's so many tools that are out there now. There are so many different softwares that are available now. And there are a couple that we use in the cleaning business that I highly recommend in addition to the property software that you use for booking. And these are things like House Call Pro, Brilliant. There's one called Market. There's another one called Jobber. These are all cleaning, I want to say apps, but it's really software and it will literally track the cleaner. And so it tracks the job and it will also track when they arrive. A lot of the programs have GPS and the GPS will show you when they arrived and when they left. There are different booking softwares and I will leave links to them in the notes below because I don't have a list of those with me. But what's interesting about those is it will allow for before and after pictures. And this is really important because if you show up to a property as a cleaner and the property's been trashed, and this has happened on so many occasions, the property has been trashed, you got to take pictures of that and you have to document that because either the host or the property manager is going to have to make a call on whether or not the B&B guest is going to get charged for that. And I know that there are a lot of upfront security deposits for some guests, especially some that have particular ratings and reviews, like they've trashed places in the past. And as a B&B owner, you might decide not to rent to those people at all, or you might take a security deposit from them. But the pictures then is the proof in the pudding. And so you'll have to decide who does that. Is that going to be the property manager? Is that going to be your cleaning team? I recommend it's your cleaning team because if it's a fast turn, they're going to be the first people on the ground. They're going to be the eyes on the ground. They'll do your damage report. They will do your restocking and then also your cleaning. And along with that, we have to decide upfront who's going to do the linen service. Do you outsource that or is that something that you want them to do on site? There are more and more companies that are outsourcing their linen services now for this reason. The cleaning teams have to stay on site until the laundry's done if you don't have multiple sets. And with the cleaning teams taking the laundry off site, that's not always the best situation because, again, once they leave, they're done with the job. And then they go home and then they still have to do what? Laundry again. And so for many of them, it's not convenient. And because it's not convenient, sometimes it doesn't get done. I hate to say that, but sometimes the linens don't get washed. They bring the linens back. It's a bad situation. And I know that would never happen to you guys. I'm sure you're not the cleaning company that would ever do that, but I get to deal with stories like this all day, every day. Not cool. So more and more companies are moving to linen services. And the linen services, I think, are about $1 to $1.15 a pound in the US. And so that's kind of a going rate where you're going to get them to wash your linens and your towels and things like that, and just have fresh deliveries for you on a regular ongoing basis. That way it removes that from the house cleaning responsibilities. As far as purchasing the restocking and supplies, that can be the house cleaner, but that's more likely going to fall under the jurisdiction of the property manager. And if you're the owner, that's probably going to be your job. And so it's not impossible, but the reality is we want to, again, be clear about who is buying what, who's buying the little shampoos or using big shampoos, who's restocking those, who's refilling those. Is there coffee that's provided? Are there, I don't know, little bags of microwave popcorn? Is there trail mix? Like what does your Airbnb do that's special from the next Airbnb, right? Lots of people have little, I don't know, little snacks and things like that. So who's buying those? And then is that person a member of Costco, for example? And if they are, who pays for the membership? So you want to clarify all of the little things. So is that you as the Airbnb owner? Is that the property manager or is that the house cleaner? I don't know. It's up for grabs, but you have to clarify it and then be specific. And as far as the apps go, make sure that all of that stuff is documented in the apps. One of the apps that we use, and we have all of our cleaners on this is Keeper Security. And Keeper Security is not an app, so to say. It's more a password vault that allows access. And so, for example, if you are a house cleaning company and you're sending out a variety of different house cleaners or independent contractors that are going to homes, that password vault is going to have all of the alarm codes for the house. If there are key codes like the lockbox that you have for a realtor that they put on the doors of Airbnbs, you would have all of those passcodes. You're going to have the addresses, you're going to have the owner's names, you're going to have all that information that's proprietary information to that particular job. I like Keeper Security because it has a whole list of different types of information you can store. One of the things that I really like to store in there are all of the cleaning supplies that we use and the vendor that we purchase them from. So if you are the house cleaner and you are buying the supplies, with one click, you have login to that access to that purchase information. You can log in and just reorder. We need 2 gallons of this for this property. And most of the properties, the cleaning supplies are purchased individually by property so that we're not, if you have a cleaning company that's coming, they'll bring all their own cleaning supplies. But if it's just your Airbnb and you are the Airbnb owner, you want to make sure your cleaning supplies are on stock at all times so that a cleaner doesn't get there and say, oh, I ran out, right? And so if that's the case and you're just hiring individuals yourself and you're not hiring a regular cleaning company that's coming in, you'll be supplying all those supplies. And that includes all the paper goods, which are toilet paper, paper towels, like I said, the coffee, if you have coffee or trail mix or whatever it is that you offer. So you want to make sure, and if you have a mini bar, you'll be restocking the mini bar as well. So you want to make sure that you have a way to track all of that. And our Keeper Security Vault has all of that. At every house, here's what happens. You track it all, and then they can check it off when they're done. And what's cool about that is if you share the record, which you can share the record between you and the house cleaner or you and the property manager, anytime you make a change, it makes it on their end as well. And so that way it's a two-way system where they can make a change, you can make a change, but everything is right in one spot. And then if you have to let that person go, you just disconnect their service, change the password, hire somebody new, and add them to the Keeper Security. So I love it for that reason. If you guys have any other questions that come up, if you're watching the replay, leave them in the links below and I will respond to them just as soon as I possibly can because I want to make sure you guys do get your questions answered. Take care.